Hello and welcome! Aparigraha, the fifth Yama, literally means non-grasping. It is typically translated as non-hoarding or letting go. Aparigraha invites us to notice all the places where we grip, our material possessions, and the beliefs, identities, expectations, and outcomes we hold on to tightly because they feel familiar or protective. It also asks us to look deeper at the things we were taught to cling to, the roles we're expected to maintain, the power we're encouraged to accumulate, the success markers we're pressured to chase, and the resources we're told to guard. Aparigraha begins with noticing what we cling to, the habits, identities, and stories that feel too costly to release. But it quickly reveals another layer, all the things we were taught to grasp. Not just possessions, but status. Not just comfort, but control. Not just resources, but the illusion of independence. Aparigraha is about releasing the grip we know we have and the grip we didn't realize was taught to us. One is personal clinging. The other is structural conditioning. Both show up in our yoga practice, how we relate to others, and affect our path to personal and collective liberation. We live inside systems that tell us our value comes from stockpiling money, credentials, followers, land, property, praise, influence, expertise, even spiritual identity. Hoarding is rewarded, redistribution is suspicious. And letting go gets watered down into self-help slogans that never touch the real power dynamics underneath. Aparigraha asks us to see through that. It invites us to question, what am I gripping because I was told it keeps me safe? What am I hoarding at someone else's expense? What power am I clinging to that I could instead share, circulate, or return? And what would leadership look like if we stopped relating to material, emotional, and communal resources as scarce? In practice, aparigraha isn't passive. It's an active discipline of noticing where we grasp and asking what a more abundance mindset relationship with resources might look like. Some examples might include refusing to hoard authority and instead co-creating with peers, letting go of expertise clinging and making space for lived experience, distributing opportunity and not just accumulating it, practicing transparency instead of guarding information, naming the cultural conditioning that says it's normal to amass wealth while entire communities go unsupported. Aparigraha becomes a countercultural practice, one that interrupts the grab-what-you-can logic of the global north and invites us into a different kind of economy, one of trust, circulation, interdependence, and community nourishment. Practicing aparigraha, or non-attachment, when practicing asana is transformational. For me, I greet each pose in the present moment and work on how I'm practicing with it today, without worrying about how I did it yesterday, or the day before, or last year. If you're not used to practicing asana with a focus like non-attachment, I suggest a seated or supported practice to give you space to lean into literally not gripping in your poses and without attachment to the results. But the deeper layer is noticing where not gripping becomes a life and leadership skill. Letting go of perfectionism, letting go of being the one who holds everything, letting go of the impulse to control outcomes or manage how others perceive your work. The paradox is that when you stop gripping, your work becomes steadier. When you stop hoarding, your community gets stronger. When you stop clinging to what is mine, something larger can move through. Aparigraha isn't about having nothing. It's about not letting what you do have or what you fear losing define your choices. It's the Yama that asks us to unclench at every level: body, breath, identity, and even our relationship with power and resources.